Good evening, καλησπέρα σας καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Καλώς ορίσατε στην εκπομπή μας Faces, πρόσωπα. Πριν προχωρήσω, να πω ένα μεγάλο ευχαριστώ στον χορηγό μας, τον Δόκτωρα Βασίλη Μαύρου και την παρέα του, εκεί στο Προ σωπα. Ευχαριστούμε πάρα πολύ, thanks very much. Ευχαριστούμε για τη στήριξη, να είστε καλά πάντα. Καλές δουλειές. Λοιπόν, και να καλωσορίσω τον Γιώργο Ηλία, ο George Elias. Good evening, Γιώργο. Καλώς όρισες. Welcome.
Thank you, Vasily. Thank you. Welcome.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you feeling comfortable?
Yeah, a little bit nervous.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Something missing, I think. You know, I'm looking forward to see Elvis.
Elvis is, no, I leave him on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about Elvis.
Ναι.
Before we go to Elvis, we'll talk about you.
Εντάξει.
Okay. Είσαι ο Γιώργος Ηλία, George Elias.
Ναι.
You born in London?
Ναι. George Elias. I was born in London in 1970. Ήταν η γονή μου από την Κύπρο, την Λάρναγα, τη Σκάλα.
Και οι δύο?
Ναι, ήταν το 1962. Ο παπάς μου από τα Περβόλια, η μάνα μου Σκαλιώτισσα, που ήταν Λάζαρο.
Ναι.
Και ήταν με... I think it'd be better if I speak a bit English, actually.
Yes, thank you. Yes, please.
They came over with my three siblings, my elder sister, my brother, and my other sister, in 1962. And then I was born through the 60s. Unfortunately, my mum had a few miscarriages and stuff like that. And then I came along in 1970. And
You find a way out.
I was the first surviving year after that, and then my sister a year after me. Yeah.
Okay, so you are three altogether.
There's five of us all together. Five, yeah. But there would have been 13, but unfortunately my mum...
13?
There would be, yeah.
My
unfortunately,
God.
due to
So five. Tell me again, how many sisters and brothers?
I got three sisters and one brother.
Okay. Are they in, music business as well, or?
My brother was a drummer back in the 70s. He was in a funk band. He used to play in all the clubs and the rough pubs back in those days, working men's clubs, and he supported what's his name? The guy that did Stand By Me.
Elvis?
No, Benny King. He supported Benny King, and he auditioned for Eddie Grant. And he knew Mark Bolan very well, and they used to tour around London, and when soul funk was real funk, and he was one of a band of 13, and he, with the exception of him and a keyboard player, it was a black band. The rest were all black. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So how long have you been involved in music business?
Since I was a little boy, because my brother influenced me as a little child. Everything my brother did, I was in awe of him. But my father was a psatti in the church.
Okay.
He used to sing when he was a little boy in Cyprus, and Anna Vish's Bapo taught him scales back in the early 40s, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And then he progressed from there, and he was going to get a record deal back in the late 40s.
Talking about your father?
My father.
Like, what's his name?
Michalis, he's gone now.
Michalis ο Κύπριος.
Michalis Elias.
Michalis Κύπριος. Because we have Stratis Kyprios, we have Kyprios Antoniou, we have Androula Kypria, and your father would have been Michalis Kyprios.
Probably, yeah. But it was during those lovely days with the lovely music.
60s only?
No, this before. Is like mid-40s to late 40s. He had a big record company from Greece come, and they wanted to sign him up as a little boy. He was, I think 11, 12 at the time, and my yaya, God rest her soul, she was begging on her knees, don't take him, mendon barade. So my dad didn't go because he...
Έκλαινε και τραβάνε στα πόδια τους.
Ναι, that's a true story. It's a true story. And then they came to London, and my dad...
You remember that when he was, when your grandmother was pulling his legs?
I was a sparkle in my dad's eye, I don't know where I was. In my previous life then.
Anyway, okay, so you started, you love music and you started when you were a boy and all this kind of thing. You get involved in Greek bands, yes? Yeah.
If I may go back before that, as I said, my brother was a drummer in a band, and I was a little boy, 4 or 5 years old, and my brother used to have his drum kit in the living room. Mr. Salandis Manas. The cellar was always closed. It was always closed 6 days of the week, and the salon was open on Sundays for dinner.
Okay.
You know, remember in those days?
Yes.
And my brother would have his beautiful double bass black drum kit in the living room, and
Yes.
he'd be practicing, and I was a little boy watching him.
Και φώναζε η μάνα σου,
So-
σιγά και πέντανες μας.
And he used to grab me, put me on the stool, and I was so small. He used to support me, you know.
Okay.
And that was the seed to
So you
becoming a
started
drummer.
as a drummer, yes?
Yeah.
Good.
I went from there. From 8 years old, I started playing drums, and by the time I was 14, I had my first drum kit. I was one of the best drummers in the school at the time, along with someone else. And I went to the Barbican for the School of Music, and I passed all my 7 exams with honours. You know, when you're 13, 14,
Bravo.
15, you take so much in. Now I couldn't read a single note, but then I did all my exams, and I was very good at it.
That's good, yeah.
And then I auditioned for different bands, and I played in different bands: soul, blues, funk, gospel, rock and roll. And then, but I always wanted a Greek band.
Okay.
Because as a little kid, I used to go to the weddings and sit,
Yes.
you know, where the stage was, and you see the drummer, and we like that.
Yeah.
And I'm in awe of the drummer, who was just playing, you know, Sarabulla, whatever he was playing. But I wanted to get on the drum kit, and no one would let me play the drums. My dad would go, "Φίλε μου,
Αυτό να παίξεις
μπορείς να
εσύ.
φύγεις στο γιο μου να παίξει. Φύγε που τζαμέ να παίξει λίγο που να μου σπάσει τα drums μου." Now I make a point when I'm at weddings.
Yes.
If I see a father with his little boy, I'm the one who calls him up.
Come and play.
Come and play. And my drum kit is like probably 10 times more expensive than
Yes, yes.
his one was. I always do that because you should give someone a chance.
Yes.
And I remember the chance I wasn't given.
I know.
So-
It's like me.
Yeah.
I feel the same because, you know, I'm giving chances to everybody because
Yeah.
I did have the same, you know, I passed, you know, through all this and I didn't get the chances I wanted to get. And when I grew up and I get chances and I, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm just giving chances to everybody
Yeah.
when I have the opportunities.
Yes.
So you are with the band at the moment, yes?
I'm with Di Stella.
The
I've been with them for
yes.
28 years.
Very well-known band, yes. And you're, okay, the singing. When did you start singing? I mean, okay, drums, it's okay, but...
Well, look, the drumming was my first passion. But I told you, my brother, everything he did, I was in awe of him. And again, my mother, when I was growing up in the 70s as a little boy, I remember music being around my house, Yannis Barrios, Sofia Vembo, Hari Alexio, Gazanjis. My dad loved all that stuff as well. My mum was the one who used to buy the records. She would go to the English record shop and buy all the English records as well. Engelbert Humperdinck, Tom Jones, Cliff Richard. But the one person that she always would buy the records was Elvis. And Elvis was played around my house. My sisters loved Elvis. But when Elvis died, when I was 7, my brother appreciated him, but when he died, his death affected my brother. Because my brother wasn't into that. He was into soul and funk. But because he was such a prominent figure in the world of music, popular music, it affected him. So all of a sudden, he went and bought all these records, and I was a 7-year-old listening to all this music around me of this Elvis. Who's Elvis? But it got me. And it just stuck with me like glue. And after that, it was like, it was something. It sounds weird, but it was a love affair that started and has just gone bigger and bigger and bigger. And I won't stop loving Elvis to the day I die. That's what's happened. And hence my voice from my father. I like to believe that I inherited my father's genes because he was upset. He had a lovely voice, and my brother's drumming. The two put together. And I thought, I'm not going to be a pop star.
You know something?
But,
sorry to interrupt.
all right.
I never seen any Elvis playing drums and singing.
I do rock and roll in the band when Tass gets a request to do Elvis, but I don't do Elvis properly. I just sing my own voice and playing the drums.
I know what you
because
mean.
I'm not in character. I'm not doing my Elvis shows. You want to hear me do Elvis properly?
But you do Elvis character and you know, dressed up as Elvis and all this kind
I'm
of
a
thing.
professional Elvis tribute artist for 17 years.
17 years, yes.
Yeah, but if you want to see that, you've got to come to my show. But don't expect to hear Elvis if you come to a Di Stella gig at a wedding and you hear me do some rock and roll stuff. It's not Elvis. It's just my own natural voice.
Is that you singing?
It's just me,
yes,
yeah.
Okay.
You know,
right. Tell me about this. You started 17 years ago. How it comes? I mean, why you decided, I can be Elvis and I can dress up as Elvis and do shows?
As weird as it sounds, Vasily, and I've got to try and make it very short. my voice broke when I was about 15, 16. And back in those days, in the probably mid to late 80s, do you remember Capitol Gold? Mm-hmm. Well, they were playing Elvis one day while I was making my breakfast in the kitchen, and I started singing to this Elvis song that was on, and his voice just came out. Because I love Elvis, I know all the words, but it just came out, but it was in key. And I don't know what, and I felt it was right. My sister comes downstairs, because her bedroom was upstairs.
And
she goes, was that
Elvis?
you? I said, yeah, it was. She goes, oh my God, George, that was good. I said, don't be silly. Yeah, all right. She goes, George, that was good. And then I started believing her a little bit. Yeah. And then I bought myself one of those hi-fis that had a karaoke facility where you can sing along with anyone. And you can record. And I was doing shows for my sister and her friends in my bedroom. And it got better and better and better. And I did my groundwork for 4 years. I did my apprenticeship. And I studied Elvis's voice, every diction, nuance, breath, vibrato, colour, tone. And I was recording my voice with all of Elvis's songs. And I would pick, no, George, do that again. Right? And I would, for 4 years, I was trying to marry my voice with his. But by the time I was 22, 23, I was ready to do Elvis. When I had my hair, when I was thin, when I was young. And everyone was going, George, why don't you do Elvis? You know, I said, me do Elvis? Wear a jumpsuit? Please give me a break. You know, I hate impersonators. That was because I'm a true Elvis fan.
Yes.
Right? I didn't like impersonators. But then, many, many years later, I met a very good friend of mine, Mario.
Mario Kombu.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got to mention Mario because he's a very good friend of mine.
Yes, he's nice.
He's a lovely
Good
guy.
evening, Mario.
And he's very successful in his field. And with Diastello, every year Dasso would have dinner and dances. And one year we was at the Hilton Metropole. And every year Tas would hire tango dancers to warm us up, a Greek comedian to warm us up, a Greek singer to warm us up.
Yes.
This year, it was October 2002, and he forgot. And his brother to hire somebody, and his brother said, "I've got a really good idea. Why don't you hire George to do Elvis?" And I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Me do Elvis? Come on! I've never done it. Where am I going to get my suit from? And this and that." Anyway, cut long story short, I heard about Mario. I went to Mario, and I had met him years ago from the Nights of Aphrodite. We did a gig together back in the 90s. I go, "Have you got a belt you can lend me, and maybe some hair or whatever, and rings or whatever?" And he goes, "Sure." It was a one-off.
Yes.
Was it a one-off? No, it was not a one-off because
Yes.
the 6 songs I did on that dinner and dance, something happened to me, and that was the first day of the rest of my life. I sung in front of 1,000 people to warm up Diastello, which I had to fly back on the drums and start right. But that inspired me. I thought, I'm not doing it as a one-off. I think this is the beginning of the rest of your life, George, as I was singing, because it felt right.
Yeah.
I looked really bad. It was really tacky. But then I realised, right, I went on the internet and I found Elvis's tailor, who made his jumpsuits from America.
Okay.
And I booked my flight. I went and met him and the big factory where they made his jumpsuits, the real people.
Yes.
I spent thousands on them. I went for 3 days to get tailor-made. And all my jumpsuits are authentic. And then the rest is history. My wife, who, bless her, supported me left, right and centre, we did this big show, my debut, and all my family, my friends, agents we invited back in October 2003, and that was it. That was the first night I ever sung live, and it was a packed out crowd, and I haven't looked back really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about Mario. I mean, Mario give you some guidance and all this?
But I became good friends with him, and he, I looked up to him. I have to be honest. I'm not too proud to say, because there's a thing in the business where you don't drop names. You're your own artist in your own right. Well, I ain't got a problem with it because what you see is what you get with me. Mario did inspire me. He was a springboard up because he invited me to the Pilgrim's Rest, if you remember the Pilgrim's Rest. And he goes, "George, you need a belt from me. Come to one of my gigs and we'll have a chat and a drink after and come back to mine." So I saw him, and when he came out in his suit, and he was tall, and there was all these screaming women and screaming. Everyone was screaming.
Why are they screaming?
They were screaming when before he came on.
Yeah, sure, Mario.
Like, he was screaming, and I'm looking, and I'm thinking, that's a good job.
Yes.
And there was some.
You were some people to scream for you. Yeah.
No. It wasn't that. It was before that. I didn't want to do that job.
Tell me, you borrow his.
No, he's too tall.
This is what I was thinking. I mean, you have to alter the trousers because
but
so you have your own.
Yeah.
Okay, now, how 17 years, yes?
Well, October
What-
2003.
Okay, what is the highlight of these 17 years?
The highlight.
Yeah.
The highlight for me was the highlight for me first and foremost is nothing makes me more, after my children and my wife, more happier than being on stage and being projecting my love through Elvis, through song. And I'm a different person when I'm on stage, especially when you're all dressed up. It's my protection. Because I never was a confident person. Although I'm a drummer, you can hide behind the drums.
Yes, yes.
You hear the drummer, but you don't see him.
Uh-huh.
But being an Elvis tribute artist, you can't be more of a back man as a drummer and more of a front man as Elvis. So, as a man, I get both of the best worlds. You see. So being on stage for me and allowing to express my love, and through song is just something you can't buy. You can't buy it.
Yeah. Did you have people coming up to you when you do Elvis and asking you for autographs or
No,
something?
I get all that, but I don't. I autograph my own name because there's only one Elvis.
You don't say Elvis.
No, there's only one Elvis.
George Elias Elvis.
I put George, Elvis, Cross, but that's it. But I don't put Elvis. I mean, there's only one Elvis. But
Do you have to, have a little bit of time concentrating before you go on stage? Just to
it's
relax and get into the character of it, because you play somebody. You are not George.
No.
You are Elvis. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how many Elvises we have around.
there's
but
only 35,000
yes,
of us.
yes, you have to concentrate. How much time do you spend, preparing for that?
Can I be honest with
do
you?
you put makeup on?
No, of course. I mean, I've got to put the hair on. I've got to put a bit of makeup, not too much. I don't put cheekbones in. I just put a bit of, just to colour me up a little bit. And I get into a spiritual thing, because for me, Elvis is in my heart.
Okay.
And I like to have my own hour before the show, and my own space. But I never stop getting nervous. You never stop getting nervous, but it's a happy nervous. I can't wait to get on there.
I know.
But it's an apprehension, but in a nice way, because you don't know who's out there. They're going to like you, and because both of my parents are gone now, I've got my mum's cross that I have on me, and I always kiss it before I go on stage.
Bravo, that's good.
And it's just a spiritual thing for me. It might sound weird to a lot of people, but for me it's a spiritual thing, because I've got my mum and dad spirit with me, and Elvis' spirit, because I love him, and my own, and I try and pay tribute to Elvis in my own way, with my own heart. You got to be, vocally I try to be as close as I can, but to try and move like him and get every finger right and try and walk like him, I think there's a limit. You've got to put your own thing into it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a bit silly when you think you're Elvis on stage. I think I moved away from that very quickly. But to answer your question, I'm proud of many things. I've been to America, I've been to Memphis, I've done the competitions, I've met his bodyguards, I've met his family, I've met his friends.
His daughter?
No, I've seen his daughter and Priscilla at the gates of Graceland, but I didn't go up to them because there was thousands of people. I've been to Graceland 11 times, been to Elvis's house, I've met his friends, his doctor who's Galamara, who's dead now. And musicians, I've met all these musicians, his drummer, backing singers, I've met them all. And that's really proud for me.
Bravo,
I feel so proud of that.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
How about your family? I mean, you have family.
I have a wife. I have a wife, and I've got twin boys, and don't laugh. Elvis was one of a twin, and my boys were born on the same day as Elvis.
Do they like him? Do they like Elvis?
January the 8th, fine.
They like Elvis? They listen to it?
They respect Elvis. One of my boys is more, they like the modern music, but they respect old music. I mean, one of my boys, he likes the old stuff, like he likes Sade, he loves Amy Winehouse, he loves a bit of Matt Monroe, Frank Sinatra, all those people. And he's only 20, because he's grown up with knowing that old music is the best music. Because without that, you won't hear what you got today. And same with the Greek. But my other boy likes more modern stuff, but he appreciates Elvis. They don't listen to Elvis every day, but they appreciate him because they know that I'm an Elvis tribute artist, and they respect his music. They do like some of his music, but not everything. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything to a show. You have a clip with Elvis.
I've
Elvis.
got, I've been to Holland. I did a big tour for 7 weeks. 7 weeks. I did a 3-week tour in Holland back in 2009, where I joined another good friend of mine, another tribute artist, Richard, and I was doing the first half of the show as the younger Elvis in the leather, and then it was intermission, and then he would do the older Elvis in the jumpsuit in the Vegas years in the second half. And it was a great experience. We had a fantastic band behind us, big full band orchestra. We played at the best theatres in Holland, 1,000 people every night, and I've got a couple of clips from that.
Okay, let's go and see one of the clips, okay?
Yeah.
And then we come back.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go and see it.
It hurts me to see him treat you the way that he does. It hurts me to see you sit and cry when I know I can be so true. If I had someone like you, it hurts me to see those tears in your eyes. The whole town is talking, they're calling you a fool for listening to his same old lie. When I know I can be so true, if I had someone like you, it hurts me to see the way he makes you cry. You love him so much, you're too blind to see he's only playing a game. He never loved you, he never will, and darling, don't you know he'll never change. I know that he never will set you free, because he's just that kind of guy. But if you ever tell him you're through, I'll be waiting for you, waiting to hold you so tight, waiting to kiss you tonight. Yes, darling, find someone like you. If you're looking for trouble, you came to the right place. If you're looking for trouble, look right into my face. I was going to stand up and talking back. My daddy was a great man because I'm evil. My middle name is Misery. And I really was. So don't mess around with me. Never look for trouble, but I never ran. I don't take no orders, no kind of man. I'm only went out
Yeah, okay, I didn't recognize you. Yes, I mean, you know.
Today, Matthew, I've come as George.
You know something? I know you very well. I knew you for a long time, and I never know that you're doing Elvis. And I found out.
Vasily,
You know, yes.
I first met you
Yes.
in La Panache
Yes.
in
long time ago.
November 1992.
Yeah, I remember when you were playing there, but
No, I wasn't playing now. I was there because Dasso
yes.
was
But
playing
you play
there.
later.
Yeah, no, I joined
joined
the La Panache crew in first week of March '93.
93. Yes.
Yeah, when John
yeah.
Diggers came over.
Yes, yes.
You remember
I
that?
remember. Yeah, he
Yeah.
came from Australia.
He came from Australia. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
God! Yes, I interviewed him.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I saw you many times before when I first started with
Yes.
Olympia.
Yeah, yeah.
When I first started my Elvis tribute, you came to my second show at the Penridge.
I remember.
Do you remember?
Yes, yeah, I do. I do. But I didn't recognize you.
Well,
When yeah, when I saw you a couple of times with your band.
You've seen me with the band with Dice.
Yes,
Like Go
you-
Greek last year, you saw me.
Yes, but I didn't remember that you were doing Elvis. I
Yeah,
thought,
because I'm not dressed
who-
up. I'm
who
not
is that guy? I mean, George. Okay, that's fine. But I never know you are Elvis. You know, until one day when I found out about the show you're doing, the 30th. I thought, is that you, the Elvis? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yes. So tell me about the show. I mean, you have a show coming up?
I have.
The 30th.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my Elvis show, and it's on Saturday the 30th of March at the Cypriot Community Centre, and it was put on by a very good friend of ours, and my wife is her prodigomera Cristalla. She's the events coordinator, and she wanted me 2 years ago to
do
play
it,
there,
yeah.
but for some reason it didn't fizzle out. They couldn't get the night or something, and anyway, cut long story short, we got a firm booking just before Christmas for the 30th of March. It's literally 85 to 90% sold out, and and I'm really looking forward to that. And so many people coming, but it's going to be a big show. I mean, you're talking about at least a minimum of 3.5 hour show.
Yeah. You have a full band?
No.
Not just you.
It's just me. I'm a self-contained tribute artist. When I'm by myself, obviously, when you're doing theatres, you have a big group behind you. But
Yes.
because the finances are not there, you know,
Yes.
they cost money. Musicians.
So you're doing it with backing track and all this.
Yeah,
kind
but
of
most
thing,
of my
yes.
backing tracks are the original. I've taken Elvis's voice out and I perform with them. So it's all authentic, good backing tracks. It's all
Authentic, yes.
It's and the show starts about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and then I finish at 1 with a half an hour break, and I change costumes, and then from 1 to 2 it's an old school funk and disco up to 2 a.m. in the morning, so everyone can boogie on down
Oh my
after
God.
Elvis has left the building.
So it's going to be up to 2 o'clock?
In the morning, yeah.
Okay, starting, what time you starting the show? 9?
No, people are coming up. The dinner's served at 7:30. There's a three-course
Okay.
meal.
All right.
And then the show starts about 8:45, 9 o'clock, my first Vegas show. And then I do an hour and a half show, then I have an intermission, and I come on and do another 2.5 hours till
Okay.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's good.
And then all the rocking stuff, the happy
There are
stuff.
no other supporting artists or whatever?
No.
It's just you? Yeah.
No, it's just me. And then, so it's going to be a good night, and it's £25 per head, so you get a lot for your money.
Lovely, very
Yeah.
good. Yes, I'm glad. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. What is which one is your favorite song, Elvis songs? You know,
There's no such thing.
You love them all. Yes.
Top 500. You can't ask me that. Sorry, it sounds silly, but there's just so many.
I can't ask you that, but I
so
have to ask you to sing a cappella. I want you to sing an Elvis song.
It's very difficult to put me on the spot like that. I know.
No, I mean, you know,
to
forget
try
about
and sound like him. Well,
forget about you know, Milá and all this kind of thing, you know. But you know, just get the feeling, you know.
What songs do you like of Elvis?
I like quite a few.
What,
I
Love
don't.
Me Tender?
Yes.
You like Love Me?
This one.
Look, I'm going to do Love Me Tender.
Love me tender.
But
Love me tender. Oh, sorry.
who are you impersonating?
You. Okay.
Okay,
Come
let
on,
me try it. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
Bravo, George. Bravo.
A bit rusty because.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay. Any other future plans? I mean, you know, you stick into Elvis. I'm sure about that. But you planning to do any other gigs, concerts, and all this? You have any? Anything coming up?
I just
Anything
do
big?
things. I pick and choose what I do now. Before, when I was a full-time Elvis tribute artist, I was doing 4 shows a week, have a break, and then working with the band Saturday and Sundays, when we used to work Saturday and Sundays.
Yes.
And we used to even do engagements in those days. Those days are finished. But I'm a man of 3 hats. I wear 3 different hats.
Elvis, drummer, and something else.
Yes, I'm a fully licensed black taxi driver, London taxi driver. Yeah,
Ah,
I'm a cab
okay.
driver.
Yes.
So where do you want to go, mate?
I want to go home.
Yeah, and I realised by the time I was 38 that music's a young man's game, really, in terms of the field that I'm in. You know, even Elvis died at 42, and even he couldn't get away with it in the end.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, how long have I got? You know, so when I was 38, my friend of mine who also does Elvis himself, he goes, George, you want to do the knowledge with me? And I said, what's the knowledge? And he goes, study to become a London taxi driver. So I went and bought my bike and went and studied all of London, and you know, and 85,000 points of interest and 1,200 routes and 2.5 years of exams and college, and I started in August 2009, and I passed in May 2015.
Okay.
So it took me 6 years, well, barring 5 years really, because I lost my mother and they gave me a year off.
Yeah.
But it took me 5 years to get my badge, and I'm a London taxi driver. I do that as what I call I'm normal now.
So
I like being normal.
you have a specific area or
Yes.
everywhere?
Knightsbridge, Mayfair,
Knightsbridge, yeah.
South Kensington, West End, lovely areas. You know, I drive around every day. You know, I'm sort of like a full-time. I know it sounds compared to what I normally do. It's not flattering, but I think for me it's the best job in the world as a normal job for me. It's independence. You can start when you want. You can finish when you want. I can stop and have a cigarette, coffee break whenever I want, but no one telling me what to do.
Yeah.
And on the same token, I'm a drummer for a fantastic band. I love playing my drums, and at the same time, I do my Elvis as and when I want, and I pick and choose the gigs that I do now. So I can't tell you. I can tell you when my next restaurant show is, or my next show is.
Okay.
Maybe in 3 months' time, but I can't tell you where I am tomorrow.
Yes, I know.
Because there is no tomorrow.
I know what you mean. Yes. Yeah.
You know, my next show is the 30th of March, and I'm happy about it because
Yes,
it's a treat for me.
And it's near. It's not far away from here.
Well,
at the community center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to be there. You know, I want to see you.
Well, you've got a ticket, I heard.
Yes, I do.
You've got a ticket.
I've got 2 tickets actually.
You have, you and Pierre.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come. Yes, and you know, see
Yeah.
you dressed up and all this kind of thing.
Well, you get Glyph to go as well, so that's what I'm
Glyph
coming
to go.
for.
Yeah. I'm not coming for Glyph to go. I'm coming for you. No.
No.
But yeah, okay. Any other plans in life? I mean, you know. Your kids, how old are your kids?
My kids are 20.
20.
I've got twin boys.
Are they?
The Blarukia.
The Blarukia. Are
No.
they involved in music?
One of my boys, he's wants to become an animator.
Ah.
Very
Bravo, do.
beautiful
Yes.
painter,
Yeah.
drawer, very, very talented. And he wants to become an animator. He wants to work for Walt Disney. So he's going to Florida next year for as part of his degree.
Bravo.
And my other boy wants to be a fashion designer. So he's going to Lyon in September as part of his degree to learn French and Spanish as part of his fashion
Yes.
course. So
You know, usually
Yeah,
the
yeah.
twins, they can't, you know, stay away. They always stick together.
Yeah.
How are they going to manage? I mean, one going to France, the other one going to America.
that's going to be very difficult for us
Yeah.
as parents.
For you and for them as well. I
Yeah,
suppose, yes.
but they've got to do their own thing.
They-
and
Exactly.
one of my boys, you know, he's very, very because he likes you know, he was always, you know, he's very artistic, and he wants to do what he wants to do, and
exactly.
I'll never stop him.
No. Let them do and help
yeah.
them, you know, give them courage.
Yeah.
Good.
course.
Okay, George. So, all right, it's been nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's been
All
lovely.
right, and
yeah.
I'm looking forward to see you at the 30th,
Thank
as
you.
well as to see you playing with the Greek band, because
Yeah.
you're a very good drummer anyway. I mean, you know, always
We're
you
back
know,
at the Go Greek. on the-
enjoy the
Yeah.
Greek music, you know, with your band, that good, you know, band
Yeah.
and all this kind of thing. Do you do weddings usually, or you
Yeah, we do.
gigs? I mean, like other dinner dances and all this kind of thing.
We used to do a lot of dinner and dances, and
Yeah.
through the years, you know, they've fizzled out. It's not what it was. Weddings, we do weddings all the time. Engagements is very rare for a band to do an engagement now.
They don't get engaged now; they go straight to marriage.
But we used to do christenings.
You
When
do-
I first started with the band, bands used to do
I
christenings.
suppose less christenings because they're not making babies anymore. Only
I don't
few.
think people got it's not it's the money. I don't think people I don't know what it is that the industry has changed. If you're
Yes,
asking me,
definitely,
it's
definitely.
definitely changed. You know, I don't know whether DJs have kind of taken over a little bit as well. I think that's got a little bit of play to say. But we're still busy as a band. You know, I mean, I'm very proud to be in Distello. You know,
good.
we're like a family.
Yeah.
You know, and
Good
I
band.
love them all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bravo, George. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank
Ευχαριστώ πάρα
you.
πολύ.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank
nice to have you in my show, Faces.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best for
Thank
the
you for having
future,
me.
best in life and all this. And good driving, good drumming, and good singing.
And if you want if you want a cab, don't call me.
Yeah. Why?
So it's a joke. I won't put the meter on that one.
Okay, then. All right, then. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Να ευχαριστήσουμε και εσάς τους καλούς φίλους τηλεθεατές, να ευχαριστήσουμε και τον χορηγό μας, τον Dr. Βασίλη Μαύρου και το Βαροσιλέτινγκς και όλη την παρέα του εκεί, και να πούμε ότι θα είμαστε μαζί και πάλι την ερχόμενη Κυριακή λίγο μετά τις 8 με ένα καινούργιο πρόσωπο ή πρόσωπα. Μέχρι τότε να είστε καλά. Καλή νύχτα σας.